To join, the best thing is to wait for price to pull back into these levels here of 197.509 and 196.571. So the best bet is for price to pull back into that region. Then this is where you want to sell. Stop loss above, take profit back down below. Welcome back, guys. You can see how GBP JPY played out perfectly. Price was trading around here last week. Actually didn't expect that pullback to happen. It came close to our take profit, but eventually went for an effective pullback, which if that was the only thing you were looking out for, obviously price played out coming into our target of 193.426. So going into next week, what will I be expecting? Well, let me go to the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame here, guys, it's a tricky one on GBP JPY because I'm actually expecting GBP JPY to take off at a certain level, but I don't know if this is going to happen next week. So I'm going to look at the bullish and bearish side of things. First of all, I want to go to the 4-hour time frame, since I'm expecting a bullish price action at some point. Hopefully maybe we get to have that bullish price action next week. So I'll go with the bullish price action first. So what I'll do is this: I'm going to plot a mini trend line above around here. So patience will be required. All right, so I'm actually expecting that, okay, cool, if price continues higher, if price is going to go bullish, personally I would like to be patient for price to take out 197.509. all right, create a new higher high above the previous obvious swing point. Then I'll catch it on the pullback on the much lower time frame, and then let's start with a short move to the upside, because if you take this trade on the 15 minutes time frame, for instance, to this obvious target above here, which is 199.983, that is a good margin to the upside. I mean, if I put a marker there, that's about 200 pips to the upside, or 300 pips move to the upside. So I'm actually expecting some bullish price action at some point on GBP JPY. Call me crazy or you want, but I've been doing this for years, so I know how these things works. But for plan B, should price fail to continue higher as anticipated, because I'm not the owner of the market, price may just be actually intending to continue lower. So on the daily time frame, I will come and plot a trend line here. Remember the analysis, the bullish analysis, I started from the 4-hour time frame, then I showed you what I'm projecting. So but for bearish price action, price may decide to come into this trend line below. Let me double click it and make sure it's visible on the lower time frame. Yes, it is. So for bearish price action, I'll go back to the 4-hour time frame, and then I'll be anticipating a third touch of this trend line below. Maybe that is when the bullish move is going to now kick in, right? So that will be another good zone to look for buys when if price continues lower. So what I'll do for bearish price action, this is a tricky one, guys. I think I'm just going to do this. I'm going to box in this mini rejection we have here. Then I'll put a line there for price identification, which is about 193.136. So if price continues lower instead of higher, which I would have loved to see, if price continues lower and breaks below 193.136, I'll catch it on the pullback on the much lower time frame, stop loss above, take profits at this trend line that I plotted from the daily time frame. You can rewind back a little bit to spot where I am drawing that trend line for, right? So these are my bullish and bearish scenarios on GBP JPY. The next on my list is gold. But for bullish scenario, just in case the bearish scenario fails, you already know how I do it. Wait for price to break above 2613.737. Wait for a retest on the lower time frame. Then you can trade to this area here. You can trade to this area here, which is 2664.979. Welcome back, guys. So gold went with our bullish move. It was a short bullish move. I never in my wildest imagination expected. I knew that at some point gold would want to go bullish, but I didn't know that it was going to move the way it moved. You know, you see, the market is not predictable. No one knows 100% for a fact what is going to happen in the market. It's all a probability game, right? So that was why my buy option was short, just between here and 2664.979, right? So price actually did go with our plan B. We didn't get an entry for the sells, which is why I always I'm an advocate of waiting for confirmation. So price broke above and came into our target up above here and even blasted above that. So which means those that took the trade, I saw your screenshot, money was made, blah blah blah. So going into next week, what should we be expecting? Now I'm definitely, because if we go to the weekly time frame, I'm definitely expecting a bullish price action. All right, let's not get it twisted. Look at this solid bullish engulfing candle. You don't joke with this kind of candle. It's a full bodied candle, no, with little or no wick. If you look at the bottom, no wick. At the top, no wick, full candle. You don't want to play with that candle. So price is going to definitely continue higher. I think price is headed back to the top here around 2789.059. Price is there. I don't want to use the word definitely anyway. So price is coming there. Let me put it that way. But with that solid bullish move, we may see an initial pullback. All right, let me go to the 4-hour time frame. So that pullback now may come back into between 2664.979 and 2649.438. That's the most sensible thing that should happen, right? What's even most sensible in this market? Anything can just happen, right? But if, let's say, price kicks in next week and you start seeing price sell off, I wouldn't advise you should sell in this kind of bullish market. I wouldn't advise you should sell. So just wait for the sell to complete so that you can catch a buy from there. That makes more sense, right? So if you see price selling, well, fine and good, then you are hoping to see your confirmation for a buy between 2664.979 and 2649.438. Then you trade into the target above, right? Which is two, I'm having two lines there, but you can see the value of those lines around here. They are almost the same. One is 2789, one is 2790. So they are basically the same, right? So I would like to actually see this play out. But what if gold becomes so stubborn and continues this impulsive move to the upside? That means if we cannot buy from this lower point here, then we can buy if price continues higher and breaks above, let me put a line there, and breaks above 2725.157. So we can now buy when price breaks above it. Then we want to catch it on the pullback, then we trade into that target up above. So guys, we are currently offering a 25% Black Friday discount that is going to run for 2 weeks. If I come to our website here, you can see 25% off Black Friday deal. Ends in 12 days, 11 hours, 51 minutes, 40 seconds as at the time of recording this video. So if for those that has always been in my DM asking for discounts on courses, blah blah blah, guys, this is your opportunity to grab this. It's going to run for the next 12 days. All right, so make sure you grab your mentorship program now. Just come to mentorships here. You can go for the online mentorship. That's if you want to have a live session with me. All right, you can get to make split payments. You can register now. You can see 12 days registration is still currently on. But if you want to also go for the course, which is more cheaper, this is a pre-recorded session. It's just a video. Pre-recorded is time sensitive because I had to record and then upload within the course. But for those that are going on for the live session, you get to have this course for free. All right, and another important information is at the end of this 25% Black Friday off, you see the cost of this Forex professional course is going to go up. All right, after this 25% discounts, the original price is going to go up. All right, so do yourself a favor, grab this and get to own it for life. All right, and those that are also subscribing for the live mentorship, you get towards the ending of the mentorship, you will also be added to this course, so that at the end of the 8 weeks, you still have a course that I'm going to be updating periodically to stay at least fresh with what you've learned during the live session. So that is that. Let's go back to the analysis, and the next pair on my list is USDJPY. USDJPY, there's nothing much to say. Price was trading around here last week, so price basically just ranged sideways. You can see how price swung down, swung back above, and traded sideways ever since. We are still on the 4-hour time frame. So what should we be expecting going into next week? I'm just going to reposition this trend line. I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to give a bullish and bearish scenario. Actually, I'm expecting a bullish move this month, maybe, and we are entering the last week of this month, right? So maybe that bullish move may just happen next week. My overall bullish target for USDJPY is 160.000. Can you just save this somewhere so that you can remember? I said this sometimes ago, right? So I don't care what price does in between, but price is coming to 160.000 in the nearest future, maybe over the next 1, 2 months or 3 months, depending. All right, so mark my words on that. So yes, if price is going to go bullish, so guys, I would advise you wait for price to break above this region here. All right, let me even see if I can box it in. That would be too much. That's too wide. I don't like this. Let me just do this. So wait for price to break above. Let me put another line there. Wait for price to break above 156.236 and 155.832. Wait for price to take it out from this zone, break out of this trend line, create a new higher high around here. Then you want to switch to a much lower time frame to catch it on the pullback. Stop loss below, take profits anywhere above. But for the bearish scenario, I'd like to see price break below this trend line and below 153.806. All right. So if price does that, if price continues lower and closes creating a new lower low below, then you want to catch it on the pullback on a much lower time frame, and then bearish targets will be 151.394. but I'm going with the bullish side of things more, but just in case price goes bearish, you know what to do. All right, so those are my bullish and bearish scenario on USD JPY. The next on my list is DXY. I'm not going to talk about previously because last week I was actually expecting a mini pullback, if possible a pullback into this trend line that we drew from the weekly time frame. If I go to the weekly time frame, but that didn't happen. I think the Donald Trump effect is still very much in play. And I also said, hey, if price breaks and closes above this weekly zone, that may indicate a solid bullish move to the upside, and that has happened. So if I go to the 4-hour time frame, do you know what I'm going to be looking out for going into next week? I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe price is eventually going to fall to the downside. I don't mind to be wrong on this come next week, but the right thing to do, what makes sense, is to just go with the flow. Dollar is just too powerful at the moment, so you don't want to. It's dangerous trading against it. So guys, you see DXY, I'm going to be waiting for DXY to pull back into this region here. Meanwhile, let me first of all put a line around there. I'll put a line here. So I'd like to see DXY pull back into between 107.109 or 106.495. Then we can now go for a bullish move. I mean, DXY still has a lot of travels to make to the upside. I don't care about the deep pullback or whatever that happens, but with the way price is going, breaking above major levels of structure, guys, 113.332 is my long-term view on DXY. But going into next week, by the way, is I'd like to see price pull back into here and continue upward. The only time I'm going to look at maybe bearish side of things, which will happen to be just a mere pullback, will be until price breaks below here, which is 106.142. So if price continues lower and breaks below it, then that's when I'll think, oh, okay, DXY wants to go for a deeper pullback before we realign ourselves with the bullish move. But you know what, for now, I'm more bullish. All right, so this is what I am looking at on DXY. So that brings me to Euro USD. Now, what do we expect going into next week? So I'd like to see price pull back into that same line, that same region, then switch over to a much lower time frame. If you get your confirmation, that's why you should always wait for confirmation, because confirmation will prevent you from impulsive entry. So let's say you have a specific pattern that you use for your confirmation. If you don't get it here, at least you know you are safe. Then you can buy when price breaks above retest and you take your trade to the upside, right? But going with the trend, I think I'd like to see price retest this line here. All right, look for your confirmation and sell to this lower point here. At least that's what I'll be looking for. All right, target being 1.04674. Welcome back, guys. So Euro USD was trading around here last week, and I actually anticipated this pullback. The pullback didn't just only happen, it gave a double top and then sold off to my target and even did more. My goodness, USD is just too strong. It's really hot right now. And you see the fun part again, Euro USD has just broken out of a major sideways movement, major range, right? If I put my mouse around here, the price came into this area around November 2022. And since November 2022, and this is November 2024, that means within 2 years, within the past 2 years, we've been stuck within this range. And this is the first time price is trading lower than that range. Can you see how hot USD is at the moment, guys? I think Euro USD will drop to this lower point here at some point. That this is a massive move to the downside. Massive move to the downside. Almost 1,000 pips to the downside. All right, I think euro dollar is going to come to this point, this lower point at some point. But let's go week by week, right? I'll go to the 4-hour time frame. So guys, going into next week, just like I did with DXY, for now I'm not looking for any bullish move. So if next week price goes bullish, then I'm not interested. I'm only interested in buys when price breaks above this zone here, which happens to be 1.06022, and that may happen maybe not within next week. All right, but for now, as it stands, I'm more bearish. Any bullish price action, then next week is going to be a dull week for me, right? So but for now, it's simple. I just want to see price pull back into 1.04669 and 1.04489 area before selling off again. It's just sells on Euro USD for now. All right, buys. If price goes bullish next week, then in the next week's video, I'm going to talk about what I'll be expecting. But for now, guys, this is the only thing I'm looking for. All right, so the last on my list for today will be GBP USD. Going into next week, what should we be expecting? If DXY continues higher, our GBP next target will be this trend line below. Where is that trend line coming from? Let me squeeze out my chart so that you see properly. Look at it. Historically, we've touched it once, twice, 3 times. And if price continues lower, that will be the next target. Welcome back, guys. First of all, on the daily time frame, I pinpointed this trend line as my bearish target, and price is currently trading at that trend line, right? I actually highlighted this in last week's video. If you think I'm lying, please just go back and watch it. I don't have energy to argue right now. So but on the 4-hour time frame, if DXY decides to sell, rather, which means I would like to see price buy from here to this target above here, which is 1.26780. You can see that price also bounced up like I predicted before selling off to our bearish target. So now going into next week, what do we expect? Just like I did on Euro USD, the only thing that makes sense to me right now is for price to just pull back into this zone here, right? It's for price to just pull back into this zone here. Meanwhile, let me first of all talk about my long-term view. If price continues lower on GBP USD, my long-term target for GBP USD will be around here, right? The first target will be here, but my second target will be all the way here. The price has to break below this daily, or let me say weekly trend line below here for that to even have a chance of happening. All right, so I'll go back to the 4-hour time frame and talk about what I would like to see next week. So going into next week, guys, I like to see price pull back into this region here of let me put another line above of 1.26035 or 305 rather, and 1.26150. So I'd like to see price pull back into there. Then this is where I'll be looking for sales on the lower time frame to the downside. All right, so wherever you feel comfortable. All right, let me see if there's another zone below. I think that's the only thing that makes sense for now, guys. So that's just what I'll be looking for, and price may just decide to maybe not come all the way up here, maybe pull up here, play around a little bit. But if price fails to pull up here and then comes and break below this trend line here, then look for pullback into the most recent swing point, which should be around here. Then you can now sell. All right, you know, time will not, I don't know how to explain this in a YouTube video, guys, how I look at these things. You know what, if you want to learn how to do it, we're offering a 25% discount right now. Just do yourself a favor, just grab it and be able to analyze like this and be able to take trades. I'm not saying you are going to win all of your trade. I don't care how well you know how to analyze. You are never going to win all of your trade, but it's fine. Can't kill yourself, right? Just make sure that you have more winners than losers, or make sure that your winning margin is bigger than your losing margin. That means always aim for more, apply proper risk management, and you'll be successful. Trading is hard, but it can be simplified. All right, thanks for staying to the end of this video. If you made it through to the end, please leave us a fire emoji, leave your fantastic comments down below. It's not easy to take out a moment out of your precious time to always tune in. I appreciate you. And for all the paid members on the channel, students, and those supporting the YouTube as a fan, I give you a special shout out. I love you, and I wish you a successful trading week next week. Bye guys.